My very first fight with my best friend was he actually slapped me. I'm older than this boy. I'm literally older than him. I'm like a year older than him. But if you see him, he's like my big uncle. But this guy slapped me. Like he gave me one dirty slap one day in the hostel. And then because of course he's taller than me, and then he slapped me. I can't fight him because if I try to fight him, he's just going to punch me and I'll just fall down. But I was pained. Oh, thank you. My name is Oladimeji Duroshara. My middle name is Dakbo. I'm being called by many nicknames. When I was young, I used to be called Atomans. If you used to watch cartoon a lot, you know what cartoon character is Atomans is. In my professional career, before I moved to this UK, I used to be called a very funny name. It's called Ejanla, Big Fish. There's a story around it. If you want to know, come and meet me personally. Okay, and now I'm being called Camera 4 in church with my media team, but that camera is too heavy. Every Sunday it feels like I've gone to the gym, but look at my muscles. Camera 4, yeah. Friendship. I feel for me, personally, friendship is an intentional commitment to want to be with someone, irrespective of what they do with you. That genuineness of wanting to be with that person, irrespective of the gender, either male or female or the other way around. You know, that intentionality to say, I can call this person my friend, this person will have my back. Okay, I don't talk finish. Next question. My first best friend, I'd say it wasn't really a first best friend, but I'll use my last, almost my G for life. I'll use it that way. Because my first best friend was when I was way younger and we lost contact a long time ago, so I wouldn't call him my best friend anymore, but there's someone I consider my G. We met in the university and yeah, he's my best friend. And I know I'm his best friend, so this is not it's a mutual best friendship. And when we first met, it was friendship at first sight. There's a story around it. Do you want me to start the story? Yeah. So interestingly, I studied in Ladoke Akintola University in Nigeria, and I got into the university doing the pre-degree. Pre-degree is like the post jam before you get into the undergrad. So, and that day, I was at the registration desk and I was on the queue, and then there was this tall, almost 6-foot guy standing behind me with his mom. He's the only child of his mom, his parents, and he's standing behind me, and then one thing led to another, and we got talking. And I found out that he came to school with his mom, and then his mom was looking for an accommodation for him, and then I was also looking for an accommodation at that time. And she did mention, oh, there's somewhere we want to go and check when we leave this place to check if the accommodation is free and available. And I said, fine, I'll go with you. And lo and behold, I went with these two strangers to check out this apartment, and it was really nice. Trust me, it was one of those big boy hostels back in the uni. And, when we got there, documents were signed. And then the mom asked me that, would you like to be my son's roommates? And I was like, okay, yeah, why not? Funny story. Myself and this guy, we put in for the same first choice and second choice, of course. So it was basically a matchmake friendship. And I'm glad that I met him. I'm glad I met him because we had so many memories all throughout the university years, after university, even up until today. Oh, so in this story, the only friendship I'm going to be referring to majorly is my best friend, my guy. So, many stories, many memories. I'm just going to share one of it with you. So this was when we were still in the world, not born again, and in the hostel then. I'm sure my mom should not hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. One funny story here. The manager of the hostel liked myself and my friend, and because when we started schooling, his mom bought him a car in school then, so we were like big boys in school balling, so everyone wanted to be our friend, and we were always rolling together. We were like yin yang. Anywhere I go he goes, anywhere I go he goes. We always go everywhere together. So the manager of the hostel has then asked us to go out with him to have a few drinks. And I can literally remember that was the first time and last time that I've ever gotten drunk. Funny story. Yeah, it was a funny story. And myself and my friend, we got drunk. We got drunk. And how we got back to the hostel that day, he drove. How we got back to the hostel that day, it was just on the wings of the Holy Spirit. It was the next morning we found out some of the things that happened on the way back to the hostel that day. It was a very risky journey. It was late in the middle of the night. Anything could have happened, but I can never forget that day. I can never forget, because it was one of the days in my life that I said I would never ever get drunk anymore. It was the day I knew my limits as a young adult. Thank you. One quality of a true friend. Number one is character. The character matters a lot. For me, I value people friendship with through character, through intentions, caring. I can't be with a friend who's not caring, who doesn't understand what it means to care about someone, irrespective of whatever circumstances is happening around them. Unconditional care, if there's any word like that. Unconditional friendship, without no strings attached. You just want to be friends with this person, not for your own selfish benefit, not for the other person's benefit. You just want to be this person's friend. And that's why I would always refer to my friend, because we started off as an unconditional friend. There was nothing attached to why we were friends, and we got along so well that our characters, the way we perceive life, it basically just matched each other. I've lived with people in the past, and I can say that, I can beat my chest and say that he's the only person I know I can live with. Like, if they say choose one person to live with forever, he's the only one person I can live with, except of course for my future wife. But we understand each other. When you go visit some of your friends, or when they come into your space, they just, some leave their shoes here, leave their clothes there. They don't care about your space as much as you do. But with him, we understood each other. Words were not spoken, but there was just that understanding. I can't explain it, but he's my best friend. I did meet other friends in school, in university, and then those friendships transferred or transmitted or whatever into after school. And for me, in as much as I'm an open book and I respect people a lot, there was a friend I had who didn't respect me as much as I did. He doesn't. I feel like he doesn't value my friendship, because he doesn't understand what it means to respect someone, and that for me is very important. It was a friendship that, if it was the other way around, we would have been great friends, would have been good friends. But I don't want to be around people who doesn't value me, and I had to find a way to disconnect myself from that person, and it was a very hurtful decision to make, but it was a necessary decision as well. How I handle conflict. See, conflicts will always happen. Conflicts will always, occur. My very first fight with my best friend was, he actually slapped me. I'm older than this boy. I'm literally older than him. I'm like a year older than him. But if you see him, he's like my big uncle. But this guy slapped me. Like he gave me one dirty slap one day in the hostel. And what was the issue? I think it was about we used to do everything together, literally cook together, and I don't know what happened. Maybe I left something where he doesn't want me to leave it, and then we got into an argument, and then because of course he's taller than me, and then he slapped me. I can't fight him because if I try to fight him, he's just going to punch me and I'll just fall down. But I was pained. If I could fight back, I could have fought back. He did apologize later on, after we had a conversation about it. Like, look, I do not appreciate the fact that you slapped me. Like, why would you slap me? Why you go slap me? Let me speak pidgin. Why you go slap me? You use that way they crazy today, man. Why go they slap me? I don't like him now. Say because say you big past me. And say if we fight, now you go win this fight. No, they do that kind of thing now. That was how that conversation went. And we addressed what caused the fight. And that I could say that was literally the only time we had a disagreement. And the only time it got to that level where it got heated. Because we from there going forward, we just had that understanding about how we relate with each other. And it was great. Yes, my best friend is my family. He's my G for life. And also, I call him my brother anyway, and his mom also calls me his son. My mom also calls him his son as well. What's it about? Anyway, yeah. And for me, it also depends on how you relate with that person. Your relationship with that person depends on how much you would call them family. There's some friendship that grows into, you being family. We always say this thing, family friend. This person is my family friend. I have family friends as well. But if you compare how I relate with some of my family friends with my best friend, it's a bit different. I would say I'm much more friendly, or there's that friendship, genuine friendship with my best friend than some of the people I call my family friend. Family friend is more like, oh, my mom and my dad knows this person, or we live in the same area, or they go to the same church, and then hence we have evening dinner or something together, and then we are family friends, even though we don't like each other sometimes, but we're family friends. But it's different from when you have a very best friend, someone who's your G, and then that person becomes part of your family. You tell that person that, your family is someone you can open up to. Family is someone you can tell anything to. Family is someone who has your back, who you can run to say, look, dude, I'm facing this challenge. I'm going through this thing. What do you think you can help with? How can you support me? That's what a family friend is, and that's what families do for each other. Family comes first because that's your blood. A friend is who you meet along the journey of your life. Family is your blood. I used to say that there are many chunks and phases to life. There's a family that you're born into. There's a family you have in each of the areas of your life. So if you go to the university, indirectly you relate with people. Indirectly you have a community of family. In church, in the spiritual congregation or gathering, there's also that familyness. There's that sense of, oh, I belong to this family of God. I belong to this society, and I call them family, right? And then when you also get married, there's also that family you're building for yourself, right? So for me, family is like in different chunks of life. But one thing will always remain constant, which is friendship, or whoever you're friends with will always remain constant for life. My best friend today, I hope that when I meet my partner in future, she will be my best friend for life. And definitely my G go got step back. You get no vex, but you got step back because my wife would be my best friend as they be. So that my best friend wouldn't directly become my family. Yeah. Oh yes, a friend has changed my life in a significant way. I have met many people in life, and I'm a kind of person who I'm a critical thinker, if you get what that means. People who think I feel like I have a superpower, and my superpower is that I can think 10 steps ahead. I can see, maybe not see into the future, but I can paint several scenarios in my head. So to answer the question here, for you to change my life, if I notice that you're going to affect my life in a negative way, and I don't want to go down that path, I will definitely withdraw myself from that friendship. Now, we've all been teenagers or young adults or youths in the past, and there's something called peer pressure. Peer pressure doesn't just happen. It happens because you associate yourself with certain people, and then they influence your life, and then you accept that influence and make it your lifestyle, right? So the decision for that friendship impacting your life lies in your hands, if that makes sense. So for me, I never gave anybody that power to have that peer pressure on me that would influence me and change me and impact something negative in me, and then I'll accept it as my own lifestyle. No, because I know the right from the wrong. Now, there are friends that I've met who I like the way they do things. I like their lifestyle. I like the fact that they're very organized, right? I like the fact that they do things in a certain way. So this is my best friend. I love the way he drives. Like if he drives me for 24 hours, I'll be so much confident in the car. I can fall asleep because I know that I will not have accidents. I have another friend again that if he drives for 24 hours, I will not fall asleep. I will open my eyes like this because this guy, if he get accidents, he's a reckless driver, right? I will not emulate that lifestyle of being a reckless driver. And you can't correct him. Like, a guy, since when I don't drive. I don't drive since I was 15 years old. He's never had an accident, don't get me wrong. But the fact that part of him being reckless and not willing to change, indirectly could influence your life if you're not careful. You could emulate that driving method, right? As mundane as that may sound, you can emulate that lifestyle, and then it becomes part of you. But I chose to emulate the appropriate way to do things, the appropriate way to do, to be organized, keep to time. There's some friends that they will intentionally make you not keep to time. They will they're procrastinators. And then they bring you into that lifestyle. They draw you into that lifestyle unconsciously. And then before you know it, you become a procrastinator. There are some friends that they're just very carefree. Maybe they're from a very rich background. They spend money anyhow. And you want to go and be feeling among, you go suffer. You will not get shishi, you go suffer. So you need to be able to understand that friendship, they may not know they're doing those things or having those impacts in your life, right? But it's left to you to have that I'll say discernment in your spirit to know, let's not go spiritual, but just have that discernment in your mind that, look, I don't think this is the path that I want to go to. This peer pressure thing, I don't think I want to be pressured into becoming what this person wants me to become. Some friends also deliberately influence you. We've heard stories of girls who go to universities, pastors' kids, and then they meet Ron's girl. And then before you know it, they become Ron's girl just because of the benefits. And then they say, oh, this is a good lifestyle. And then they start to behave that way. I would always say something that the school I went to, I was very, I was prone and exposed to a lot of group of people. I was exposed to a lot of group of people. And it was just by God's grace that I did not become or live a certain lifestyle. I was around people who were smoking, drinking, clubbing, cultists, church boys, SUs. But I chose not to go down the way of the wayward lifestyle. I chose to go down the way of being the good boy. And it paid off, trust me, it paid off. In the end, it pays off. Those guys that went the other way around, they've turned their life around as well. They're living a new life. But I would always say one thing, that I'm happy for the choices I've made in school or throughout my journey as an adult growing up, right? Because of the influence of the friends I have around me. I never allowed their lifestyle to influence me, in as much as how interesting they are. Some of them like they're womanizers. You know, those things entice guys. When you see like your friends are dressing, they bath up. You say if one do one thing, which some of them do Yahoo. You say if go one do Yahoo, say you won't feel among. But I never did those things because I was never interested in it. I never allowed those set of friends to influence my life. There are so many fake friends on social media today. A lot of people out there today, they're genuine ones, don't get me wrong, but I think quite a lot of people these days go into friendship for personal gain. What will I gain from being friends with this person? And I feel like social media is full of a lot of such people. Oh, I have 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers. How many of those followers are your friends? And how many of them actually impact your life in the real sense of it? But yeah, it's good to have those followers. It's good to have those numbers. You know, you tend to portray that, oh, this person is my friend, but this person actually doesn't know you. You know, this person, maybe we went to secondary school together and then you haven't seen the person for ages and then you're calling them your friend. You're really calling them your friend. If the police arrest that person today and they see their chat and say, oh, so you have a friend that is distant, how do you explain it? So I feel social media these days is filled with quite a lot of there's a lot of falseness going on there. You know, there's a lot of misconception. It's filled with deceit. It's filled with the fantastic things also happening on social media. People connect with people on social media. People meet their partners on social media. People meet great friends that will influence their life. People meet connections that will change their life, their businesses, transform their destiny on social media. But you need to also have that discernment spirit in you to always know what is what. What benefits is this person being friend with me for personal gain? Is this person being friends with me to chase clouds? You know, there are cloud chasers out there. You know, imagine if I'm a celebrity today and I walk in somewhere and someone that I can't even remember knowing and then say, you be my friend now, guy, you be my friend. Like, dude, I'm not your friend. Friendship is a big word. You don't just throw it out there. You know, yeah. Okay.
Good friend.
Yeah. Struggling to find or keep good friend. I think you should reevaluate yourself first. Reevaluate yourself as a human being. Like, why am I not making friends? Why are these people running away from me? Why don't they want to be my friend? Maybe my character, maybe I have bad character. Like one of my friends will say that I have bad character. What's that bad character? Right? Engage these people that are trying to disconnect from you to say, look, I feel like there's a rift between us. We're drifting apart. What have I done? What do you think I can do better to improve myself? So I think that communication line should be open for you to do a self-evaluation of yourself first, right? After you do that, then be intentional about your choice of friends. What kind of friendship are you looking for? Where do you even want your life to head to? Where you want your life to head to, those are the kind of friends you should have. If you know you want to become a successful businessman, be friends with someone who's done a successful business. If you know you want to become something else, be friends with those group of people because then they can influence your life. They can contribute to your growth. You know, you can always run back to them to say, look, I'm in this fix. As a friend, what do you think I can do to improve myself? But first thing first, reevaluate yourself, right? Because once you do that inner check, then it helps you to understand how you relate with people. This week, reach out to your friends. Pick up your phone. I know you're busy picking shifts. I know you're busy trying to, in between the busy time or the least time you have to rest. Pick up your phone, check on people. A simple hello, hi, I'm just checking to check on you to see how you're doing goes a long way. People are going through a lot in life, and trust me, a simple hello makes a difference. So call someone today and say hello. Oh yeah, so I shout out to the organizer of this podcast. So shout out to Raf to See Studios for putting this together. He's an amazing guy, by the way. He's a great guy. Trust me, he's an amazing guy. He does videography, he does pictures, he has a studio. I'm in a studio right now, and trust me, before this session, I've had a free photo shoot. He's laughing. I'm gonna pay, don't mind me, because my friend too, so I have to support my friend. So shout out to him. He's a great guy, he's an amazing guy. If you're in the UK, anywhere you are in the UK, check out his Instagram page. I'm sure he's going to display the social media page on the screen. Check him out. He's a great guy. His rates are pretty much affordable. Anywhere you are in the UK, call on him and he'll be there.